guys, what's up? My name is Crystal and this is the home for intelligent black media. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So today I'm talking about the documentary that FD Signifier did on Tyler Perry, and this is long overdue. It took me a little while to do this review, guys, because I wanted to make sure that I was feeling what I was feeling before I put my thoughts to camera. And I was feeling what I was feeling. So let's go ahead and get into this review. So the documentary that FD Signifier did on Tyler Perry. So first of all, I'm going to start off by saying what everyone else has pretty much covered up to date. It was a very good documentary. You could tell that he really worked on this. It was well researched and it was well put together. I did not agree with a lot of the points that he made within the documentary, but overall, you know, it was a very good documentary, to say the least. With that said, what I want to talk about as far as my review is concerned is community building. And FD Signifier, he talked about this a lot within his documentary, and that is the importance of community building. And you're going to notice that on this channel, I talk a lot about community building because it is important within the black community. Now, when it comes to community building, I think that we all have different definitions for what we believe it to be, but overall, we're essentially thinking along the same lines if you have a heart for the black community at all. And for me, when I think about community building, this is my definition for it. Everyone has their own different gifts and talents, and community building at its core is everyone coming together and utilizing their own gifts and talents and working in an organized manner to move the group from one position to the next. This is how I see community building. Working in unison together to move the group from one position to the next. So let's get into this review. Now, before I get started, I want you guys to remember this point because I'm going to come back to this point. Martin Luther King Jr. died in 1968 at the age of 39 years old. Well, let me rephrase that. He was assassinated in 1968 at the age of 39 years old. And when he died, he had the heart of a 60-year-old man. And I want you guys to remember this point because we're coming back to it. A 39-year-old man died with the heart of a 60-year-old man. 60. I want you guys to remember this because we're coming back to this point. All right, so within the context of this documentary, and within the context of the media industry, I'm going to frame this conversation about community building. All right, so the problems that I see and what I saw with this documentary is that you can't destroy the people that you claim that you want to work with within the community to move the community from one position to the next. Because remember, community building is all of us coming together, utilizing our own gifts and talents and resources, I didn't mention that before, in an organized manner to move the group from one position to the next. Now, you can't do that when you're quick to want to annihilate or destroy other group members whenever you have a problem, right, that can just be talked out. Whenever you have a problem that is not so big to the point that you feel the need that you have to attack and to destroy. What's interesting about this point is that I actually talked about this before in another video that I made entitled Too Many Crabs in a Barrel. And I talked about how I experienced working in the community with other black people and how I saw other black people quick to want to attack other black people whenever there were problems and we were in the midst of community building. These black people's first instinct was to destroy on sight. And I had to stop a few black folks from doing this to other black people because I was like, this is not how we deal with other people. Now I could see if you just had like some real big problem. I'm talking about an issue. I'm not talking about some minute stuff, right? I could see it then, you know. I could see that the necessity to perhaps utilize that type of strength and force, because sometimes it is necessary, you know, depending on the circumstances. But when we're just talking about minute issues or just things that we could really, you know, just come together and talk about, this type of force should not always be the first go-to. And when I was watching this 4 hours now, 4 hours, guys, this documentary was 4 hours long. And at core, let's just be honest. At core, what this documentary was about is a man that pretty much has issues with the fact that he feels as though Tyler Perry is not utilizing all of his resources that he has within the entertainment industry to help black creatives get ahead in their projects and the things that they're working on. And because of the wealth, the immense wealth that Tyler Perry has and the power that he has within this industry. This is at core what this man's major gripe is rather. And that, along with the fact that he feels that Tyler Perry is not talented. He made that very clear within this documentary, right? So, and that's his opinion. He has a right to his own opinion, right? But my issue with this documentary is the need to outright attack black people. Now, within this documentary, FD Signifier, he said, my goal is not to destroy or to tear down Tyler Perry. And I felt that that was a bit disingenuous. You created a 4-hour long documentary where you could have just pretty much just stated what your main points were, which were, I don't like the fact that he's not utilizing his resources the way I feel he should for black creatives, and I think he's not talented at all. This could have pretty much been an hour documentary, maybe an hour and a half at most, but 4 hours. And it was 4 hours because he really took the opportunity to really tear down this man, even though that he said that he wasn't. We need to be honest about what's going on here. The way, and let me stop before I go any further. No one is above criticism. Anyone can be criticized, including Tyler Perry, including Oprah Winfrey. Anybody could be criticized at any moment. I'm not saying that Tyler Perry isn't above criticism. What I'm saying is that I have noticed a pattern with black people where when they have issues with other people, other black people, they feel the need to try to destroy these individuals, right? And what they do is they hide behind very serious issues. In this instance, the issue is the resources. the lack of resources available to Black creatives, the funding for their projects, opportunities. There's a lot of different things going on concerning Black creatives. This is the issue. So what happens is that I see Black people taking very serious issues and putting this up front as a smokescreen, and then taking the opportunity to tear down other Black people because they really don't like these other Black people for whatever reasons, right? And again, they have that right. Everyone has a right to their own opinions. But these people are utilizing very important issues so that they can come out into the world and utilize these issues as a smokescreen so that they can now attack these people and say, hey, this is why I'm doing this, right? I have an issue with that because this is not community building. This is not. You can't tear down the people that you're supposedly working with and then somehow say that we're community building. We have to stop operating like this, Black people. And it is so ironic that this documentary came out after I created this video entitled Crabs in a Barrel. Too many crabs in a barrel, because I want to say I think I made it like a week or two before FD Signifier dropped his video. But I spoke about this very thing, and that's Black people who are out here attacking Black people, but in the next breath talking about community building. This is not how we community build. We have, disagreements are going to come. Arguments are going to come, but we're going to have to learn how to come together to figure out how we can make things better. The first instinct should not be to make a 4-hour-long documentary tearing down another Black man and then putting in front this very important issue that deals with Black creatives, because this is an important issue. We cannot gloss over this. There's an issue with the lack of opportunities and resources and funding and various other things for Black creatives. So we're not going to gloss over that because it's a very real issue. But to make a 4-hour-long documentary, guys, I kid you not, like, I watched the documentary when it first came out, and I didn't watch it all the way through because I kept falling asleep, I kept walking away, it was just other things going on. But every time I came back, I had the same general feeling, oh my God, like, this man is just still going on, like, he's just, whew, this is just a lot. Like, I get it. You think, I get it. You don't like his movies. I get it. You think that he was troubled as a child. And some of those troubles carried over into how he runs his business. I get it. I get it. I get it. That was where I was with the whole thing. It was just like, oh my God, like, I get it. 4 hours of this, guys. This is not how we community build. Now again, no one is above criticism. I didn't say that. Tyler Perry's not above criticism. He can be criticized, right? He can be criticized. But if the issue is community building, then the first instinct should not always be to tear down other Black folks just because you don't like the way they run their business or you don't like something that they're doing. This should not be the first instinct. This is not community building. Annihilating other community members is not community building. At this rate, if every Black person was to operate like this, we're not going to have anyone to community build with. Okay? So this isn't community building. We're going to have to learn how to work with one another in an organized and respectful way. That's not to say that issues aren't going to arise. Issues are going to arise, but we're going to have to learn how to work through those issues. The first instinct shouldn't be just to tear folks down and then to be disingenuous about it and say, This is not, I'm not making an attempt to tear anybody down. No, this is very disingenuous. The documentary was 4 hours long, and it was one thing another. The essay allegations were in there. It was one thing after another, and then to get to the end and say, oh, you know, my intention is, no, your intentions was absolutely for people to get to the end of this documentary and have some type of sour thoughts or opinions about this man, right? So I thought that that was very disingenuous. But having said all of that, it doesn't take away from the fact that it was a good body of work. You can look at something, right, and acknowledge the merits of it while not being in agreement with some of the opinions that were asserted, right? So my next point, everybody can't be talent. Now, I think there's something that we have to acknowledge here, Black people, and that's the fact that Tyler Perry can't be everything to everybody. And everybody can't want to be talent. Now, I believe that people should operate within their own unique gifts and talents. And if you want to play football, you want to play football. If you want to model, you want to model. If you want to act, you want to act. If you want to be a comedian, you want to be a comedian, right? But we have to have some people who are willing to rise up and do the hard thing. That one thing that everybody keeps wanting to avoid, and that's start a business. Create platforms so that other Black people can stand upon those platforms. This is the hard thing. Very few people want to do the hard thing, but everybody wants to be out front, shining in front of the camera. Nobody really wants to go behind the scenes, or stay behind the scenes rather, and do the hard thing, which is start a business and run it, and create opportunities for other people. We need more Tyler Perrys. So when I hear Tyler Perry saying, go out and create your own, I get it. You know, I get it. And this isn't, and you know, I don't want people to look at this document. I don't want people to look at this video that I'm creating here and say, oh man, you know, she's just trying to stand up for Tyler Perry and, you know, this and that, and she doesn't want to go against like the grain. No, that's not it. I just see this situation in a different way because I'm someone that's building, right? But I can't be everything to everyone. That's almost like, for instance, right? My platform is just about serious issues within the Black community, societal and government. If someone came along and said, yo, you would really be popping if you started talking about hip hop news, I would have to say, no, that's not what my platform is about. But if someone else wants to hear about hip hop news, then they can go find somebody who does that, or they could either create it themselves or somebody else can create it. But that's not what my platform is about. We need more people operating in different areas. Tyler Perry can't be everything to everyone. There are too many needs here, and too many needs within the Black community. And what's happening is that everyone wants to pile all of these needs onto one Black man, one Black Negro, y'all, one Black Negro. It can't work like that. Now, is that to say that the points that FD Signifier brought up aren't valid points? I'm not saying that, because they are valid points, right? But at the same time, I think that we have to acknowledge that Tyler Perry is one black man, and he cannot be everything to all black people. And that's why I brought up the point about Martin Luther King Jr., 39 years old, he was assassinated. He died with the heart of a 60-year-old man. He died with the heart of a 60-year-old man because everybody saw his vision, saw what he was doing, and they jumped on one man's back. One man's back. And expected that this one man was going to carry them forward. One person can only do so much, y'all. And that's why when we talk about community building, it's plural. It's plural. It's not singular, it's plural. And that's everybody coming together. Not just putting all your expectations on one person. Again, y'all, Tyler Perry is one black man. One black man, one black Negro. This is one black Negro, y'all. One black Negro. One black man. There's only so much he's going to do. Now again, this does not discredit the points that FD Signifier made, because he made some valid points now. But Tyler Perry is one black man. And we can't place all the problems within black media on one black man. We need more black people who are going to rise up and say, you know what? I want to be the equivalent, or I want to build something similar to what Tyler Perry has built. We need more black people who are going to say, you know what? I don't want to just be talent. I want to be behind the scenes building something for our people. I'm one of those type people. I'm someone that wants to build this Gender Revamped Studios. I want to build this up into something major, spectacular, so that I can get from in front of the camera and go behind it and allow other people to come in front of it. I'm not opposed to any of that. I can't wait for the day that I can do it. I can't wait. That's my goal. I think that it's a beautiful thing to be able to give people opportunity and to impact lives to an extent that you can pay them, you know, what they're worth, and they go out and create beautiful lives for themselves. Like, I think that's a beautiful thing to be able to do something like that. I want to do that. So, but getting back to the point, he is one black man. Martin Luther King Jr. died with the heart of a 60-year-old man. Partly because everyone jumped on his back. And they was waiting on him to move us forward. That's not community building. One Negro, one black person is not going to move us forward. What's going to move us forward is all black people working together and coming together, utilizing our resources, our gifts and talents, our own unique gifts and talents, and bringing all these things to the table and moving the community from one place to the next, from one place to the next, one place to the next, one place to the next. So, and what I see with this situation before I close is that what a lot of black people are expecting is that they're going to jump on this one black man's back and he's going to make it happen for everybody while they just run around and be talent, because nobody wants to do the hard thing. When you're an actor, when you're a comedian, when you're a boxer, when you're a football player, whatever it is, after you get through doing these things, you are done. But when you own a business, you're never done. Even though you may hire people and delegate them to oversee different departments within your business, you still have to oversee all of that. it's harder to be a business owner than it is to be talent. And another component to this story is that we need to acknowledge that we just have too many black people running around within this particular industry who want to complain, but they don't want to do the hard work. And that's actually get up and create something for our people. Tyler Perry is one black man. This is not how community building works. One black man is not going to do everything for black people. And that's not to say that I don't believe that he could do more. Yeah, he could probably do more. But again, he is one black man, and there's only so much that he can do. If we were all to jump on Tyler Perry's back, he would be just like MLK. His heart would be double the age of what his actual age was. This is what we do when we expect for one person to do everything, when we place all demands and expectations upon one black person. That's one Negro, y'all. That's one black, oh my God, that's one black man. That's one black man. There are so many black people out here who could be doing so many different things, right? Nothing against celebrity kids, but when I see the children of other celebrities, I'm oftentimes shocked sometimes. And again, whatever your gifts and talents are and your interests are, operate within those. I'm not trying to push you into entrepreneurship or being a business owner. But I have to be honest with you, these kids are well resourced. They are born into wealth. They have connections. They are there. And I'm oftentimes surprised when you see them, get older or whatever. And some of the first things they say is, I'm going to be a rapper. I'm going to pursue modeling, or I'm going to play soccer, or whatever the case may be. And, sometimes I find myself thinking like, dang, does anybody want to start a business? Like, does anybody want to do like anything other than be talent or play sports or, So, and again, that's nothing against them because if this is where their true interests truly are, then hey, go for it. But I still think that sometimes like, dang, like, does anybody want to take the hard route? Does anybody want to start a business? Does anybody want to create platforms for our people to actually stand on? And these are some of the people who are in the greatest position to do it, and they never want to do it. Instead, they want to be rappers. And again, there's nothing wrong with that if that's what they really want to do, But yeah, Tyler Perry's just one black man. So when we talk about community building, we really need to talk about it and understand it for what it is, Community building is not placing all expectations and demands on one person just because they are financially equipped and resourceful. That's not to say that that black person couldn't do more. But I think that we should open up this conversation to ask, why don't we have more black people within this industry who want to go beyond just being talent, right? So that we could create a lot of different hubs and portals for our people to plug into, and not just expect one black man to just kind of make it happen for all of us, because it's never gonna, it's just not, it just doesn't work like that, guys. That's just not how community building works. So that's my commentary. That was how I saw this situation. When I watched that 4-hour-long documentary, guys, like, that was what I was just really thinking the whole time. I was just in a zone. I was just somewhere else. I was like, this is not how community building works, and we need to address the issue of how we deal with other Black people. This needs to be addressed, and it needs to continually be addressed, because it's an issue and it's a problem within the Black community. The need to outright devour and the need to feel to ultimately to destroy other Black folks just because we might not like them, they're not our cup of tea, whatever the issue may be. We can't move as a community like this. If everyone adopts this mindset, we are not going to have a community to build with, okay? So that's my review. That's my review. That's how I saw this whole thing. So get in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about my review. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and I will see you in the next.